Welcome back to Saturday Night Place.
I'm Shikuquaza.
I'm Waifu.
This is the Great Ace Attorney 2.
And we finally figured out why it wasn't making any sound.
Yeah, that was my fault. Susato-san, I need to tell you something. It feels like we've been doing this case for like a year. Ryunosuke-san, it's only been like 3 days. I know, right? I've known that woman for years. She'd never be an accomplice to anything. It's utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with one another in more ways than one. Oh dear, this is most troubling. Surely the waxwork the man stole has nothing to do with the coroner, is it? Oh, I've had my own problems with members of the police. Sorry,
So why did you vote against?
Sorry, what?
So why did you vote against us?
Sorry, what? I want to know what suspicious magician's story is. See no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture. Oh, well, that's something we have proof of.
Accusing someone without right evidences? He's not a proper job, is he? I won't have it.
I legitimately have no idea what you meant to say there. Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has polarized opinion. Given that it's... I just need to take a moment after last time's conundrum. Given that its face is obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim, I can only applaud my learned friends' temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Assman's body double. Yeah, the applause is deafening, and yes, I know it means extraordinary, but that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone else yet realizes. What are you thinking, Mr. Nahuda? Oh, like you don't already know. Like you don't already know, Susato. I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used. Why it had to be this model. Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean? Is the twist here that the professor was Mr. Assman? That's silly. Yes, and I'm convinced it's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim. Well, if that's the case, what if it was because both Mr. Assman and the waxwork model had detachable heads? We must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs. That's my least favorite adverb of all. Prematurely. What? Why? Never mind. I have to find a way out of this. If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination. Yes! Alright, let's see. I think that there's something to do with this. The guy that's like, I have had my own problems with members of the police. There's gotta be something there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of problems? It's
okay, everyone shame Shitu.
Heard nothing. Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the street. Right, I see. Obviously, I'm a woman of the night. Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners, and the like. Like I said, woman of the night.
Not in my day.
But the police use any excuse to make our lives difficult. See, I feel like you should be spinning that thing around, sir. Sir. Sir.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Finally, I removed the felt from my fucking glove. Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole, I want to say? That's not even... Sorry, my joke...
Oh, you're calling a mass murderer.
My joke is not as funny as this guy jumping to the conclusion that the other guy is saying that he doesn't like police and him jumping to the conclusion that he's calling him a killer. That's horribly relevant to today's society, and I'm just like, I have to take a moment because that's way funnier than anything I was gonna fucking say.
This joke aged well.
I got
in
confused.
The unfortunate sense.
I got confused because I heard you look like him. Sorry, what's going on right now? Mr. Ottermole? Am I missing something? Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps we could move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly, you do. Nah, it's just my fidget spinner here. Bang! Oops. Where the fuck's my fidget spinner? Back in my day, back in the good old days, where the Proud Boys could shoot in it. No, 2-0. It wasn't like this. What was it like, sir? We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us. White people respected us back then. What was that first word that you said in that last sentence there? It sounded like a color of some sort. No. I didn't say nothing about no color. Ooh. No one would call the coroner into question in them days. A coroner's report was the hallmark of investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name to it. She was the best of the best, and in the apple of the force's eye. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens? Sorry, got a bit carried away there. Stevens is Dr. Scythe's maiden name. Ooh. Aren't you supposed to be shutting up?
Wait.
Yeah, do we notice Stevens? What if?
Well, it's not the same as what the days who we're talking to.
No. Her maiden name. So that was before she was married. Ooh. Of course, yes. Silly me. It's Scythe now, isn't it? Stevens. It's Stevens! I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently. Anyway, those were the great days of police, and not like now. Now it's all about this political correctness and not being able to shoot black people in the street. Terrible days we now live in. I disagree greatly, but let's just move on. There is a whole dictionary's worth of wrong words in that sentence there, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to be less racist? Also to include that name. Well, sure. To the second part. I don't see why not.
What do you want for dinner?
Food.
I'm gonna order a pizza or something then.
You wanna do noodles or something?
The only thing we have is ramen.
I'm okay with ramen. Okay, I think... If we did hear the name Stevens, it was...
Courtney Stevens.
Oh. So like that.
That was the professor.
Yeah, like the professor.
10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that sounded familiar.
Ma'am, you have a lot of
So-
cleavage showing.
It's not illegal. Okay, I think I'm gonna press this because now we've discovered that there's a connection between Courtney and the professor, so there's something to go off of here at least. Why would you assume that? Oh, well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does he? True. As it stands, we don't know of any connection. ... Oh gosh, but... golly, but it sure would be delightfully romantic. Why am I Australian now? It's Southern Belle. Oh gosh. Golly. It would be delightfully romantic if they were somehow to have a mutual interest in the waxwork. Romantic? Waxwork? A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know? No.
Turns to Susato.
One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Oh, perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just there. I have no relation to Van Zeeks that way. Oh, you said defendant. Oh.
I'm only available for Daddy Herlock.
I'm not gay. Susato mumbling in the corner. Sure could have fooled me. This woman may be more astute than I've been giving her credit for. If that's the woman's stance, then perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Scythe would be enough. Yeah, I agree. Oh, okay. So I probably have to pit her statement against the policeman's now. Okay, that's pretty easy. That was step one of my master plan.
Objection!
Give me. Ah! Why does my hand look like this?
Holy
Oh God! What's happening to me?
Or exploding.
Good gracious! Your hand, sir! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? So, juror number 2. Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you? I presume you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Scythe, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before. Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships are irresistible. But oh golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean. Dr. Scythe's maiden's name is Steven! And through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it. Really? How utterly enthralling. Counsel, are you pulling evidence out of your ass again?
Not this time, Judge.
Not this time.
Not this time.
I would ask the court to look at this! It's a picture of a butt. Oh shit. This! Yeah! I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago. A 10-year-old autopsy report? Can we update it at any point? No! It is, of course, from the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor.
Why did you say it like that? You're making everyone uncomfortable here.
Professors? But the man was a capital offender, so... That's right. This is the certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. Ooh. So wait. Are we now jumping to the conclusion that because Dr. Scythe is not to be trusted with her involvement in this case, it's possible that she forged a certificate of death for the professor and he's still around?
Possibly.
Ooh. See, like, everything about this case that isn't about the main case is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The identity of the killer...
Wagon.
The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens! Why do you say it like that? Courtney Stevens. Strike a lad! It appears the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythe 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Two-Spells. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Assman, at all. And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events? Unfortunately, yes! There is no doubt in my mind that the Professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover. Between Dr. Courtney Scythe and, oh my god, my hand again! Ah! Ah!
We'll have Iris look at it.
Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is most extraordinary. We're surely obliged now to explore this further. Me. Well, with quite right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Not while there's this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best coroner. Meh! But we're still here to uphold justice in the end. Meh! Well, I have proof that the waxwork was in the birdcage. But yesterday you claimed the instantaneous kinesis contraption was a trick. That I did, but there's more than one way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there? What if he trained a flock of birds to carry the corpse into the air at the speed of light? Nah, that's stupid. Sorry? I grant you, given that this cage appeared from amidst an explosion, there have been no need to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could have at least had the decency to make it look like the victim. I'm not exactly how much criminals are governed by decency. Point is, if you're going to make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage... Okay, but here's the thing. Nobody was even within 60 feet of it. I don't care how close a waxwork model looks to a person. You're not going to recognize the face of a waxwork model falling from the air from at minimum 60 feet away. I suppose we should expect nothing less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. But that perhaps means his mind could be changed if we managed to present suitable evidence, which I happen to have. Whatever. Evidence that the Professor Waxwork was inside that birdcage. Now, just to be clear. Yeah, no, I do have. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I have something I'd like you to see, sir. This I gotta see. I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation here. It's actually sort of a navy color. You don't trust anyone in black. Looking in the mirror must be very trying. Oh, I see. He's referring to my mouse. My mouse is wearing all black.
I knew it.
Take that!
Nick.
Take this!
Nick.
Fucking chucks a piece of glass at him. Nice. Ow! You... What's this? A piece of glass? Though it's unusually thick for glass. Yeah, it's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket on the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass, though. It's very thick.
2 C's.
I count 1 C there, but clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower. The Crystal Tower? Holy shit!
Yeah, that would have been a good time to put shit. You would have cursed word in there.
Exactly. The centerpiece of the great exhibition where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass. Special glass.
From whence this small piece of witchery? Is that it?
Precisely.
Would you like me to get started on noodles then?
Sure, if you want. Probably gonna be doing a summation examination. Oh my god. So what do you say? Now that clear evidence, get it, in support of the assertion that has been placed before you.
Was that a goddamn pun?
Yeah, fine.
However, I can make an exception for Navy. In light of what you've shown me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter.
In that case, Stuart. You okay?
Yes.
Okay.